Okay. Head.
Heads win the toss. Chris, what will you do first?
I'll take batting.
Okay, Cameroon has chosen to bat. Why are you batting first?
Well, I want to give my girls the opportunity to warm up now so that when the feeling will be like to wake the team up.
Okay. Are there any changes to your side this afternoon?
No, I don't have any changes.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Mariama, what would you have liked to do?
I should have liked to bat first.
Okay, but you're now going to bowl first.
Yeah.
What is the strategy that you're going to use to win this game this afternoon?
Before my team, we decided to bat first, but we also agreed that anyway the results come out, we are going to accept it.
Okay.
So it's a both win.
Okay. Good luck in your game.
Thank you.
From the center, Cameroon won the toss and elected to bat first.
Well, that is the news that came from the center. Cameroon has won the toss and opted to bat first. It's a whole long lineup of commentators as we get underway with the first ball of the innings. A dot ball for Sierra Leone and already positive for them. My name is Evan Cyprian Sajabi here in the comms. And to start off the commentary this afternoon here at Entebbe, I have Michael Grace Indiko here with me in the comms. Good afternoon, Mike, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Ivan. So glad to be here. And it's such a wonderful tournament already. So much look forward to, and looking at these young women at the under 19 getting their careers off in this Africa Division 2 qualifier. Certainly with Cameroon yet to get off the blocks, and Sierra Leone, the body language seems to say it all. It's going to be an interesting match, Ivan.
Bowled right away, right from the mouth of Michael Grace Indiko. He says it's going to be an interesting matchup. And Sierra Leone, off the very second delivery of this innings, managed to pick up the first wicket. Ale Trouble already onto the batting lineup for Team Cameroon as Sierra Leone celebrate their first wicket. A full and straight delivery there, and Sierra Leone managed to pick up the first wicket. Michael, the decision for Cameroon winning the toss and opting to bat first looks to be backfiring already because they have lost the first wicket on the very second delivery of the innings.
Well, in the preparation, in the warm-ups and all, you could
say it all. It's going to
celebrations for the Sierra Leone. And I think that because that's how they prepare, that's their mental framework.
There is a run for a chance out on the bowlers. There is a chance for run out on the bowlers' end, but the throw way wide, and now it will be Cameroon to take the first run on board. The backup was right in place. The throw wasn't so convincing, a bit over the head of the ball of the fielder who came in to do the backup at the stumps, and in the end, it's Cameroon who pick up the first run.
Yeah, Ivan, like I was saying, the thought is that probably they did more of the preparations along the sides of wanting to bat first. And clearly it shows they are willing to try and take the most of every opportunity, try and pick up as many runs earlier on.
Susan Sese is the bowler currently doing the business for Sierra Leone, whereas the batters for Cameroon, Ate Chris Kelly currently on strike, and her partner Tekwe Rema, who's just walked in replacing Akele Doris, who was bowled off the second delivery of the innings. A tournament of emerging nations, 5 nations here in Uganda. They'll be battling it out, and only 2 can make it to the Division 1. That one going down. It will be more runs for Team Cameroon.
Certainly being a reduced overs game, just the 13 overs per inning, means that each of these batters know they want to move as fast as possible, pick up some early runs and try to impose themselves onto the game. However, what is also obvious is that this is also another good opportunity for learning as players.
That is up in the air, no control, a bit of advantage from the blade of the batter. She calls no rate, however, there is a chance to run, and they take the run very quickly. Both teams being at the wrong side of results in their opening matches. Cameroon and Sierra Leone both coming into this game at the back of losses. Both nations from the West African part of the African continent. The morning game didn't happen between Malawi and Mozambique because of the rain. But a reduced affair this afternoon. The sun is finally out here at Entebbe Cricket Oval. And beautiful weather for cricket. As we get to the end of the first over, it will be notable to mark at the end of the over. And the scoreboard reads 3-1 after the first over. That is the president of Cameroon cricket right there with Maureen, who is working as their liaison, but she's a Ugandan. But that's the dugout there for Team Cameroon right in your frame. The standing umpires of this game, Patrick Makumbi Musoke, Ugandan, Veronica Iriho from Rwanda. She comes from a place called Muhanga, one of the few places that I've never been in Rwanda, but at least I'm sure that she's the regional event officer also in that region. As Ramatu Kamara comes to bowl the second over of the game. Not a very good start for Team Cameroon, who won the toss and opted to bat first. Just 3 runs coming off the first over, but even a wicket in that over. And a good line being bowled there by Ramatu Kamara. She just keeps it outside off stump. No foot movement there from Chris Kelly. And it's a dot ball to start off the second over. This time around, she hits it with not too much conviction, but manages to get it into the gap towards that short third area, and they run through for the first run in this over. We're looking at half-field setup, fine leg, and extra cover are the two fielders that Ramatu Kamara is using so far in this match. Beautiful. The shape, the foot movement, full face of the blade. Tekwe just making it look nice and easy.
What is interesting is when you saw them during the period of the warm-up. We'll get back to that. You could have seen them really practicing so well that front foot defensive and the attacking shots. And it's good to see that actually they are executing on those particular drills that they were going through. Because at the moment, yes, they've already lost 1 wicket, Cameroon, but they are still positive. They are looking to attack.
Well wide, she misses her line, but the wicketkeeper, good anticipation at judgment, just getting right to where that ball was going, and she manages to collect that one off. When you look at Ramatu Kamara's 4 overs in their opening game against Malawi, before yesterday's rest day, she bowled 4 overs, conceded 25 runs, and an economy rate of 6.25. She's still wicketless in the tournament, but so far she's bowled some good areas in this game. If she could maintain it, maybe she could pick up something from the match. And that will be a dot ball for her. Good adjustment, way down the leg. She manages to come back, goes pace off completely, and she just keeps it into the block hole.
Tekwe Rema Abo is definitely playing it safe at the moment because that is what the team requires.
Final ball of the over. There was an idea. She moved close to where that ball was landing, making sure that she makes full access of it, but it keeps drifting away from her and it's a wide. More runs flowing for Team Cameroon. And when you look at the bowling display for Sierra Leone in the opening game, they bowled 42 extras, of which these 32 were wides. They need to make sure that they make amendments. That dot ball will mark at the end of the over. And as we end the second over, the scoreboard reads 6-1. Second over there for Susan Sese. She starts off the over with a dot ball. Her first over went for 3 runs, and she's made sure that she keeps bowling that good area. Against Malawi, she picked up just 1 wicket, and she will be hoping that she gets more. Nothing free should come away from the Sierra Leoneans, and that's much better again. Good lane and length. Just going through action, and it's another dot ball in the over.
The Sierra Leoneans are picking up their voices. You can tell they are really in it, and they want this win as much as anyone else would, knowing that it's also that much needed win to get back.
In their opening game, Sierra Leone, they were too loud and vocal in the first overs, but when it came towards the end of the 13th over, there was a partnership. Somehow Malawi recovered from 36 for 6 to go on and post 110 runs. So because of the frustration that came to them as they failed to get the wicket, they kept dropping their shoulders, and even the extras keep ticking. But it's a good positive for them to try and make sure they keep backing up the bowler, they pick up themselves and keep doing the good things in this tournament. And another dot ball. The issue has been those wides. When you look at the innings so far, many wides coming in from Sierra Leone. The runs on board are 7, and of these 7 runs, the extras are 4, meaning only 3 runs have come off the blade. Beautiful. Beautiful for the eyes, but it just results into a dot ball.
Well, definitely with the kind of pressure that is being mounted from the bowler and the backing up of the team, the Sierra Leoneans are right in the right place that they want to be, and that is just to exert some more pressure earlier on.
Two more balls to play in the over, and after that ball, it will be just 1 delivery to play in the game. Attack Chris Kelly is still in there. She is the captain for Cameroon. 2 of 9 for her. And I think now the idea for Cameroon is to make sure that they stick in as long as possible, because we've seen many extras coming in from Sierra Leone. So if they stick in, they'll have more runs on board. Working that off the pads, but straight to the fielder. Trying to go for a direct hit, but could have been trouble. And in the end, it's a dot ball. Just 1 run coming off Susan Sese's second over, and after 3, 7 for 1 is the score.
After 3 overs.
With the 3 overs down, it's just a 10 left. Those 60 balls have to be made to count.
That is hit up in the air, but there's a fielder. It goes to the safe area, run out chance on the wicket-keeper's end. What I like about that is that there was some good awareness because the fielder, because the batter at the bowler's end, or non-striker's end, took some time to take off. Clearly there was a chance at the wicket-keeper's end, but not too much power from that throw. And in the end, Atek Kelly makes her ground. Beg your pardon, it's Tekwe who made her ground, and she'll be facing now. That is hit. Nice to see, but a slow outfield because of the rain. It will not go all the way. Chance for them to pick 2 runs. And they will settle for the double. Some good sweet connection there coming in from Atek Chris.
Certainly the intent is now clearer from both the batters there in the middle, in Atek Chris, and she's making sure that they are running every opportunity, but also staying positive, just making sure that they can put bat to ball and look to really hit that ball, which is exactly what is being called from the Cameroonian dugout.
Another way down the leg, and extras has been the order of the day. And more runs for Cameroon. It's not common for us to see the dugout celebrating the extras, but they know how important runs are. Because they know they'll have to come back and bowl, so they have to come when there is something they can bowl at.
Well, you could also say that if she hadn't actually missed that ball, there was a chance of hitting it almost for 4 runs down to the fine leg region. So either way, it's a positive.
What a catch there from Ramatu Kamara, flying up in the air, and she manages to get hold onto that opportunity. The second one goes. Wild celebration there, caught and bowled, as Atek Kelly makes the long walk back to the dugout.
Celebrations will continue. It is the ICC Under-19 Women Qualifiers. As you can see there, very well struck, trying to get over the bowler, but instead she just clasps it out of the skies. And that will be more pressure onto Cameroon, who are trying to set up quite a target that they would want to defend later on.
Beautiful to see, beautiful for the cameras, and that's another angle of that replay. Hit, but not with conviction. She saw it coming, but look at that. The way she flies up in the air, she uses her height to the maximum, gets hold onto the opportunity, and Ramatu Kamara has the first wicket in the tournament and the second one for Sierra Leone in this game. Exciting times. You hear that applause as the bowler gets ready on her run up. Beautiful things happening for Team Sierra Leone. 11 for 2 after 3.3. More trouble for Cameroon. I love the idea. Step close to the ball before you do that, before you try that drive. Much better there from Cameroon. They have grown into the tournament. Of course, they're being match day 3. They're making sure that they grow every time into the tournament. It's their first time to take part in this under-19 qualification path. And when they've come, they have shown that they're a team that can learn on the job and learn so quickly. Tries to drive but misses, and it's another dotty ball, and that's a good area being bowled by Ramatu, just keeping it outside off stump, because they've shown that they are so good on the balls that are coming straight to their wickets, even so that the double that she was hit for, the ball was coming to the body. And the umpire will confirm the end of the power play for this game, meaning from here on Sierra Leone can use a maximum of 4 fielders outside, as we are remaining with just 1 delivery to complete in this over. Pace of delivery, and it will be a dot ball to mark at the end of the over. 3 runs 4 runs in the over, a wicket. And at the end of the 4th over, score is 11 for 2.
Armando finishes that over. The score is 11 for the loss of 2 wickets.
There will be another continuation from the airport end as Ramatu will continue. Right now, Cameroon is definitely having their sights on that kind of score, probably in the regions, Ivan, of about maybe 40, to try and have something to defend, to have their bowlers defending too. But it's not an easy journey because you can hear the applause right from the middle. The Sierra Leoneans are busy pumping themselves up. They really want this so badly, and they're making sure that there is no room for the Cameroonians to try and find any runs within. Much as, yes, it's open play now, the power play restrictions are eased out of it now.
New bowler Isha Kariatu coming in from the airport end. And she manages to start off her spell with a dot ball. (11 for 2). You feel that the decision to bat first for Team Cameroon has not yet gotten off to a very good start. Beautiful to see. She goes full face, transferring all the weight and making sure that she keeps it out of the block hole.
Basics of batting, always recommended from any part of the world. Every coach would be glad to witness that. However, also the requirement is that you need runs on board, and I know at some point there will be a message coming through from the Cameroon dugout.
Another dot ball in the over. Isha Kariatu Bangura took 3 wickets in the first game for Cameroon against Malawi, and she conceded just 8 runs in her 4 overs. She was the most economical bowler on that day. She bowled 4 overs, conceded 8 runs, 18 dot balls in her spell, and an economy of 2.00. But the 3 wickets are something to talk about in this game. She will be looking at getting more wickets as she continues making it work well for her. The only issue they have always had, Sierra Leone, is that the wicket keeper has not been stopping many, and those runs keep piling up for the team. She is quick at running to the wickets, but then the stops there from her do not have too much conviction.
Well, Ivan, maybe you're being too tough on the wicketkeeper. It's always a thankless job, as the saying goes. And that said, it's amazing to see that
and she gets the 4th wicket in the tournament. Straight as would love to see it, bullseye, and it's the off stump that is uprooted. Another wicket there for Sierra Leone to celebrate, and the dancers will come out.
as you can see, that was a very good seam action from that ball, getting some movement off the seam, and it comes back in, just getting the middle and off out of the way, rearranging that timber, and it means that Cameroon will have to go back to their plans, because at the moment a 12 for 3 means, as you can see, that a bit of an in-swing action, a bit of exaggerated, if you may ask me, because she intentionally sort of drops that head down towards as the arm comes through, and that ball has that exaggerated kind of movement back in, and that was very well bowled.
Sokinatu makes her way to the crease. Had no idea where that one had gone, but they will slip through for the run because it goes short third where there is no fielder. But more trouble being put onto that batting lineup for Team Cameroon. And as we come to the end of the 5th over, score is 12 for a loss of 3 wickets.
5 overs down, the score is 13 for the loss of 3 wickets.
There is another new bowler coming into the attack, and she starts with a way wide delivery there. Kadiatu Sawane, the new bowler, into the attack there for Team Sierra Leone. Not a very good start for her. She will be looking at making sure that she bowls it a bit close. So many people in Freetown, in the capital of Sierra Leone, will be looting for their side to make sure that they make a mark. They went in Kigali in 2024 for the Division 2 qualifiers, but failed to pick up something as they finished third in the tournament. And they will be looking at making sure that even though they didn't have a very good start, losing the opener to Malawi, maybe they pick up something in the remaining games. And I tell you, with the match against Malawi being abandoned, it puts the table a bit open, because even though they lost their first game, if they go on and win their remaining 3 games, it means each game is having 2 points. It means they'll be having 6. So they will be wishing that Malawi can sleep and they go on and beat Kenya. A lot of mathematics for them, but they still have a chance of making it to the finals, a big opening to the top 2 spots, to make sure that they also earn a ticket to the Airbus that will be going to Dar es Salaam in October for the Division 1 women's qualifier. That's it up in the air. You clearly see that the movement, she tried running backwards before she saw where the ball was, and that had to land safe.
Well, dropping short means that she will live to fight again in the middle there, because right now Sierra Leone is just trying to limit any scoring opportunities for the Cameroonians. And at the moment, it is almost close to the halfway stage. Not exactly where they would have wanted to be in terms of the runs, Ivan. But at the moment, they have to try and still pick up as many extra runs and many other gaps that they want to find scoring options.
Chance to run. Subsequently, chance to run out, but it's not taken. The 2 batters home safe and dry. 2 runs off Kadiatu Sawane's first over. And at the end of the 6th, the score is 15-3. Well, that will bring a change in the comms. A new pair will take on in Naomi Kayondo and Yasini Ngobi.
The score is 15 for the loss of 3 wickets. Isha Karieta Bangura still comes back from the airport end.
Thank you to Ivan and Michael for those making of the proceedings for these first 6 overs.
A very good around the wicket and sort of allow them bowl those extras. As we can see already, they've already given out 15 extras. That tells you, unfortunately, Cameroon has lost Akili, who had got some playing time on the crease, initially playing 50 balls. But I'm sure since Tekiwe is still in there, also got some batting time on the crease. So they are not in a bad state. So I'm looking at around 50 runs.
Okay, so 50 sounds good, defendable, but looks like of those 50, there are already those many extras that will work in the favor of Cameroon. Okay. Isha, birthday girl plus 1 day now, are still in that bowling attack from the airport end, delivering it straight, not giving Sakinat much room to play it, you know, delivering it straight, and she's trying to keep them quiet.
Yes, as a bowler, especially at this underage cricket, those are some of the basics coaches tell out to the players, to just sort of keep everything simple, sort of bowl it.
It is the score for the loss of 3 wickets. Eight overs down, the score is 18. With the loss of 3 wickets, Cameroon won the toss earlier. They opted to bat first, playing 13 overs each team.
debutants in the form of Veronica and Sharon, who are also doing an amazing job out there in the umpiring world. Flowers to them.
Chance for a runner, but yeah, safely back in. Very good work today from the Cameroonian, trying to, that is exactly what we were looking out for. If they could minimize those 8 runouts, as I was saying, 13 runouts in the tournament and 8 belong to the Cameroonians. So if they could cut out, which they're so far done so well, that would do a world of good to them. So we're seeing them already now 20 for 3. I'm speaking about them making debuts, but that brings us to the end of the over after 9, and the score reading 20 for 3.
Is 20 for the loss of 3 wickets after 9 overs. 4 more overs to go, and there is going to be change of the batter in the middle. There is change of the batter for Team Cameroon. Coco Fortunate from Team Cameroon comes in to bat.
Atola from Uganda, but I want to also tell you this: Rwanda has really done a very fantastic job in elevation of the women in sports. Of course, we remember on January 2023 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, Salima Mukasanga making her debut in the FIFA World Cup against Australia and New Zealand. So it's really good progress for the women in sport.
Or other abusive conduct and language.
Very well put, Yasin. There's been massive investment in sport in African countries, but we cannot overstate the investment done by Rwanda in sport. And that's not just cricket, soccer, but I've seen that much excellence in volleyball. I have seen it in basketball. So there's that intentionality to invest in women's sport, which is an amazing thing. 2-3 weekends ago, I was with a crested crane player who has shared with me a bit of her journey, how she played part of her franchise soccer in Rwanda. So there's that much investment. Veronica here, I've also seen her doing a bit of coaching work in the region she comes from. But also there's that intentionality, even with the coaches and the umpires. It is something good to see, and we celebrate all the associations that are investing in women's sport all over Africa.
Is that interesting discussion from the captain during the captain's presser, especially from the team manager Brenda of the Cameroonian, when asked about what they will call what will help their team to succeed, and all she talked about was that the anxiousness of the Cameroonian team, being extremely anxious to compete and to learn. So that gives us an image that they're simply here to get that experience. But plays back.
Teresa there starts off the over, delivers the second one going wide, but also would like to give flowers to our medical people. That quick attention to players or injuries that are on the field. There's that quickness which is very, very important. Would like to thank. While at it, Teresa picks her first wicket, making it Sierra Leone's fourth. Bowling that off stump sends back Sakinatum to the dugout.
This will be very crucial 2-point-something overs for both sides. I think the game is going to be one between these two overs. Whatever runs is scored between these remaining two overs, but there we go, the replay straight into the stumps, but Butter going across and definitely paying the price there. We're going just back to the basics, playing the line of the ball.
Zhang Precious there getting out of the blocks with that one creamed through the cover region, allowing them to take a quick single.
Yes, Naomi, as a role player there, you always need to understand what role you play. We know what safety is, we know what health means, and we know how ICC stands when it comes to safety of every player.
Foku not shy to express herself. Just gotten in, but is swinging those arms, trying to hit that ball hard, because she knows that what they have on the scoreboard is not enough. Not a defendable total as yet. So I'd want to see both Voko and Zhang go a bit harder, try and run a bit faster, because these are young girls. And she seems to have had dabs that one to the gully region, and they're able to take that single, keeping the scoreboard ticking, which is a positive for Team Cameroon. Teresa still guilty of delivering those wide down the leg. And the keeper does just what she's able to do, get her feet and stop that ball with her legs. I would rather she does use those gloves, that protection that she has over her hands.
And of course, that dot ball brings us to the end of the 10th over with a score reading 25 for 4.
25 for the loss of 4. After 10 overs, 3 more overs to go. Cameroon is playing Sierra Leone this afternoon. And Cameroon won the toss. And they're batting it fast.
Kadiato comes back into the bowling attack from the airport side. Yasin, Cameroon has 3 overs left. And I would like to see a bit of acceleration. How many more runs do you think they could potentially add on to this 25 to put on a defendable score?
Of course, their current run it once again, but there's a volley there. Balled him there. She has to get to be moving right now. More damage for the Cameroonians and more celebrations for the Sierra Leones.
Sierra Leone pick the 5th. Scoreboard not looking very exciting. 25 for 5 in 10.2 overs. In your frame there, the replay delivered with a bit of flight, and it just ends up in the batter's pads there, being dismissed. But with that dismissal, Kameni walks on to join Zang Precious to ensure that they step up in terms of scoring, in terms of the scoring rate, to ensure that the total that is posted is defendable. Yes, Yasin.
Dead ball there once again. Naomi, getting back to that, their current run is standing at 2.5. So if they keep up with that, that means they get 7 runs, taking them to around 33 runs. If the Sierra Leones continue with the extras, maybe you grant them another 7-10 run extras, so getting at around 45 runs. But there's a chance there. So I'm looking at around 45 runs, the 7 and then another maybe 10 extras, so getting them to around 45 runs.
Chance goes begging there in the mid-wicket region. I would want to see these under-19 girls put their bodies on the line, probably attempt to dive and convert those chances. While at it, Zang Precious swings. Big one, massive one, racing all the way to the boundary through the deep mid-wicket region. And there's a massive celebration in that Cameroonian dugout. First boundary of the game.
There you go, this time around, just clearing that left leg very nicely, getting the timing of the ball, and yes, the ball racing straight to the boundary. But I can tell you, Naomi, that 4 could have a lot of impact on this match.
Impact it is, because that one has been delivered going wide down the leg, and Zang says, I will just guide it, continue it, running it down the leg to find leg region. That's what a boundary does. Disorganizes the bowler a bit, but also gives the other batters confidence. Everyone else in the dugout the confidence that it is possible. And the 45 projection is coming. It's getting there. They are getting there. Closing off the 11th over, Cameroon are 31 for the loss of 5.
31 of Entebbe for the loss of 5 wickets. The last 2 overs.
Chance for a run out. Oh, and it is effected. Running off. Kameni running off without clear communication there. And that run out dismissal comes back to haunt Cameroon. The first that we've seen in this game. On match day number 3, Zang struck that ball. And Zeng, Kameni just set off.
I think there was some bit of hesitation. If there was a full commitment commitment with that poor throw there. I think they could have easily made that run, but that initial hesitation costed that run. But again, as the historians say, history repeats itself. Once again, we're continuing to see that now.
And the catch is taken, completed there. Zhang Precious attempting to go big, but she doesn't leave it any further away than just 15 meters away. And such a dolly catch completed.
This is ICC Under 19 World Cup Qualifiers Africa. This is the Pearl of Africa.
Yeah, once again, just going across the line there, top leading edge there, and yes, easily taken there. And they have to be marching back. I feel just set that energy in the celebration. That four had sort of swung the confidence into the Cameroonians, but the 2 wickets for the Sierra Leones, I feel the confidence now is back into the Sierra Leones. So we're seeing the match-changing situation happening in these 2 overs.
That catch was completed by Ramatu Kamara, who has also been bowling very well for Sierra Leone. So far picked 1 wicket in the 2 overs that she has bowled, conceding 9 runs. So she's putting in a shift with the ball, but also she comes in as a very handy fielder for Sierra Leone. Teresa coming from the golf course side, delivering it stump to stump. Zhang Precious not able to put it in any place that will get them a run. She just plays it to a fielder.
Finally, they managed to complete that easy, maybe risky run there. But Naomi, anything, just not anything less than 40 runs, we won't be really, I don't think it will be good enough to really, the bowlers bowl at it. Secondly, I wish the Cameroonians just clear their left leg much better with the sort of flight the bowlers are giving that ball. You saw when she cleared the ball, how easily she cleared that for 4 runs. I wish they can just do that. Then we could see a couple of boundaries.
Teresa delivering that wide, down the leg. And Kana could consider just continuing to guide it. If it's going down the leg, not hitting stumps, probably swing at it and get some extra runs. Chance up in the air, chance to catch, chance, run out. Catch not taken, but the run out is completed. And Kana herself, who hit the ball, ends up being run out. Interesting celebration there by the ladies from Sierra Leone, Freetown's finest. And that sends Kana back into the dugout.
First of all, a chance missed out, but once again, the run out, first pick up there, nice and easy, direct throw there, and yes, very well, good piece of fielding from the young lady there, and wonderfully completing that run out.
Yes, in the skeletons of run out seem to have re-attacked Cameroon.
I think as I put it, Naomi, the historians, we commonly say that history always repeats itself. Bring us to the end of the 12th over at 33 for 8.
The score is 34 for the loss of 8 wickets. 1 more over.
The first innings are into the last over. Cameroon riding at 34 for the loss of 8 wickets. In 12.1 overs, just 5 balls left. Can they reach that 40 or 45 run mark that Yasin here has projected? But better still, they need to get into a position that they can defend those runs. Susan Sesay delivering that last over of the innings. She sends that one wide, down the leg.
Naomi, I think the Cameroonians have simply, maybe credit should be given, they've paid homage to that Erling Haaland's celebration of meditation. I think it has sort of brought more concentration into them, and then they've reduced onto the extras. So that has simply brought them much better control of the proceedings.
And Cameroon seem to be cruising towards that total of at least 40 runs. Right now, 36 on the cards. We're seeing a bit of adjustment. The bowler, Susan Sesay, asking for a bit of adjustment with those fielders just to ensure that there's utmost protection. That ball, wicketkeeper not being able to keep a hold of that ball. And the wicketkeeper also has a lot of work to do behind the stumps with that glove work and foot movement. But it gives the Cameroonians a chance to actually take that single run. And Susan Sesay will have to come back and deliver those remaining 3 balls.
Anything, Naomi, less than 40 runs won't be really something very good to be bowling at for sure.
The run out, another run out is completed. Not good sights here for the Cameroon players. Either not very quick in between the wickets or just not communicating very well, because that didn't go as fine as the earlier one. And Guemo seemed to have thought that there is that opportunity for completing the run, but it wasn't as fine because this was played to a fielder in your frame. The replay completed way before Guemo was in the frame of safety.
That was the end of the first innings. It ended with a wicket.
Last ball of the innings. Sierra Leone able to pick that wicket. Closing off the 13th over. 37 for the loss of 8. And Sierra Leone will have to post 38 for that long looked up for win this afternoon.
There is, I think, that will not be a very daunting task for the Sierra Leones. The 37 for 8 in the 13 overs. So I think so far the Cameroonians have had control over their bowling, but with the 37 on board, I don't think it's going to be really a daunting task for the Cameroonians. Just looking at that, of course, the last batter for the Cameroonians not coming in because of the injured takeaway, and that's why the score is reading that way.
Match summary there for Cameroon. Chang Z 6 of 6. Kelly Fulao 4 for 12. And Rema are both 4 for 18. I beg your pardon. Chang scored 6 of 6. Kelly 4 of 12. And Rema are both 4 of 18 balls. And on the bowling side, Sierra Leone, Tommy Teresa, speak 7 for 2. Angura, 1 wicket. Susan, 1 wicket. Sierra Leone putting on 37 for the loss of 8 wickets. Cameroon, I beg your pardon, and Sierra Leone will have to post 38 to be able to get that win. This is the ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier, and we'll be back after the break for the second innings.
break for the first innings. As the umpire steps in, Veronica Uriho from Rwanda, and Patrick Magogo from Uganda. And the third umpire from the dugout.
Getting back
From Botswana. This is the
from the
second
innings break,
and this is match
where
number
Cameroon
3.
posted 37
Unfortunate that in the
for 9 after 13 overs. Sierra Leone is tasked with posting 38 for a win. And the umpires have walked back onto the field. Cameroon fielders are already in place, and so are the Sierra Leone batters. The ladies from Freetown are back to attempt to chase this score in pursuit of their first win in this tournament. Umpires Veronica Iriho from Rwanda and Patrick Makumbi Musoke from Uganda standing in the middle there. And the third umpire, Mr. Ravi from Botswana.
opening bowling for Team Cameroon, coming from the airport end. Jen Fortunate is coming to deliver the first over for Team Cameroon.
Opening the batting for Sierra Leone is Mary and Ramatu Kamara. Ramatu has been putting in a shift for Sierra Leone with the ball. We also saw her complete some good catches, and she's back to open that batting. Mary starts it off with a big one, and the catch is completed. First ball, first wicket. Catch is completed by Zhang Precious Chang. Very well taken there.
1 wicket, 0 run.
There, the culprit running back to the crease. What a moment we are seeing in these proceedings. There, the replay banging it hard and just about not having control over that hit, and comfortably taken there by that young jolly woman there, taking that crucial catch. Chang there taking that very crucial catch. Naomi, let me tell you this, the required run rate for the winning teams are batting second in the previous women's Day Cup here at the Entebbe Cricket Oval was at 4.5, and losing just a mere 1 wicket for you to put yourself in a winning position. Sierra Leone has lost so far 1 wicket, and they need to make sure by 3.5 overs they are standing at 15 runs minimum to present themselves in that comfortable position.
Goes big. Teresa Tommy walks in at 1 down, and she gets off the blocks with a big shot over the cover region. Racing for those quick 2. Game is on.
There you go once again. Pitched outside of stump, going for that one, but I think she just misjudged that one. Could have been a very easy catch, match turning catch, but unfortunately let chance gone.
Foko judged guilty of bowling that one wide. But it's getting interesting here at the Lakeside Oval in Entebbe. The teams that are not playing, Mozambique, here to also watch this interesting game, which feels like a mini final of sorts. Cameroon playing against Sierra Leone.
Naomi, with this kind of energy brought in by the Cameroonians, we could possibly see an upset caused by the Cameroonians, the debutants. So we are possibly seeing an upset this afternoon if the Cameroonians just stick to this sort of energy and control.
catch completed. Another opportunity put down there by the short cover fielder. But Teresa knows that she'll have to stay there if she's to get her team across the line. In this tournament with 5 teams, the top 2 qualify to the main qualifier that has teams like Tanzania, Rwanda. Opportunity for another catch, not completed. And Teresa knows that she'll have to run much faster to get home safe and dry.
I think those 2 chances just falling short, and you wouldn't expect the young girls really taking those risks, say moving more forward or just trying to dive. They've just decided to get more defensive to avoid giving away that extra run.
Shot played very well. Past the bowler by an aggressive Ramatu. The Sierra Leone batters are living a bit dangerously, hitting those balls with the energy, but slightly in the air, closing off the first over with 6 runs for just the loss of 1 wicket.
End of the first over, the score is 6 for the loss of 1.
In the first innings, and medical attention was given to her just to get her in position, fit and in position to bowl for her team. Starting it off with that one that nips back in, and the comfortable Rama to place that to that mid-off region, allowing them to take a single.
I think you could see there her sort of limping. I think that had a sort of impact on her. That explains that you could see that limping. I think that sort of played to that misfield there. But just to bring you after the same position, the Cameroonians were standing at 6 for 1, and right now the Sierra Leone's at 7 for 1.
I beg your pardon there. That is Ate Chris, the captain herself, doing the bowling work for the side. But it is also interesting to see how these ladies from Sierra Leone are punching those balls to the mid-on and mid-off region with comfort, not under any pressure, but being able to plant their foot right and play that ball.
Very, very good. There's the very good field change there for Dokasa to be put out away from the mid-off region just because she was limping and she had given away those extra runs. But there's some medical attention there. I think it has been a very clever decision from the Cameroonian captain to put away Dokasa from the mid-off region. I think she's in some sort of pain, so she's been limping and just giving away those 2 runs that wouldn't be there, and that is very wise. So we're yet to see the impact that is going to have onto them. But so far, the Sierra Leone's standing at 2 runs ahead of the Cameroonians. So they're basically trying to give themselves that chance at the score and maybe give themselves more overs, chasing a little more little runs.
A quick medical break there, just the umpires being extra cautious that that ball did not create any injury with the Cameroon fielder, just checking that she's fine, and indeed she is. Captain continues her bowling, and that one is struck to the mid-wicket region by Ramatu, comfortably taking 2 runs. You see that she is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Team Sierra Leone. She's been brilliant in the field, bowling and fielding, taking those catches. And even right now with the bat, she's keeping that scoreboard ticking for Freetown's finest. Playing that behind the square, comfortably taking another single. Able to rotate the strike between the two of them. And it is good sights here for cricket. This is the ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup Qualifier Africa Division 2. And out of the 5 teams, the top 2 will qualify to the main qualifier, where the likes of Tanzania, Rwanda, Nigeria live and are waiting for these 2 to play the main qualifier later in Dar es Salaam this year.
I think looking at that group and looking at the progress, how the sort of strides that the Tanzanian side has been making of recent times, I am seeing Tanzania causing an upset and
to watch. Interesting tournament. But also the Malawians here, the Mozambique ladies, all here watching what is going to definitely turn out as an interesting game. Teresa and Ramatu continuously rotating that strike. And the fielders here at the mid-wicket region caught guilty of napping, not being able to keep that one in the gloves, in the hands. Cameroon will also know that they have to keep that fielding tight. Kana Dorcase found guilty of napping there, not picking that first time. But closing off the second over, Sierra Leone 13 for the loss of 1 after 2.
I think once of the game, they're bringing themselves closer to a very comfortable position. Alona told you, as we said, Naomi, looking at the previous tournament, the Women's Day Cup T2025 that was held around the same period of time, winning teams that were batting second in the afternoons were always taking runs at 4.5, and that required Sierra Leone today to be at around 15 runs at 3.5 at the end of a power play. That's at around 3.5 overs. Remember, it's a reduced game. And so far, after 2 overs, they're 13 for 1.
Sakinatom into that bowling attack from the airport end. She starts that over with 1 delivered onto the body line of Teresa Tommy. And with the kind of energy that these 2 batters have, Tommy and Ramatu, she strikes that down to the fine leg region, allowing them to run 2. Played slightly past that bowler, Sakinatum, and she follows it up, plays it to the mid-off region and follows it up with a run. Very good cricket here. Shows that the 2 are understanding themselves as a pair, but also are continuously rotating that strike.
Also, now when you look right now at the Cameroonian fielders, I think the situation has sort of got on top of them. They have started, the energy has dropped first of all. And there is a strike there once again, a close for 2 runs. Yes, well taken there, easily taken. Yes, and Naomi, when you look right now, the sort of energy they started with, they've started the misfields. You can see the misfields, and that shows a relapse in concentration. And sometimes that is brought maybe because of the pressure of the situation. and that also bring even to the best of players. It can easily, but there's a chance there. Yes,
and it is missed. Opportunity for a run out, not taken. Also, Teresa going big, trying to hit that one over, but it only stays just around the 30-yard. And Kana Nanfak still guilty of dropping, putting that one down. Missed chances. Those are 2-3 dropped catches so far. But also, this time there was a better intent to hit the stumps with an overarm throw. Sakinotum delivers that in the body line. Ramatu attempting to go across the line, but that just ends up all over her body. Not injured though. Play continues. Swing and a miss. Ramatu attempting to go big, going across the line, but is not successful. Sierra Leone closing off the third over with 18 after 3. Chance of support here at the lakeside oval. Team Malawi, Team Mozambique seem to be supporting a particular side, with chants that they interesting seem to both teams know those chants. All coming from the southern region of Africa, have been entertaining us with a lot of amapiano, but Teresa Tommy strikes that to the fine leg region, allowing them to comfortably take 2 runs. Apologies about the screenshot, but play continues here. Teresa Tommy and Ramatu Kamara keeping that scoreboard ticking for Sierra Leone. Yasin, I think at the end of the game I will ask one of those players from Malawi or Mozambique what that chant means. But they seem to be having a good time in the stands, watching these 2 teams battle it out. Teresa Tommy does not stop going, just keeps accelerating, playing that to the deep mid-wicket region. And an attempt for 3 runs is on, and they complete that attempt. These 2 have run hard. The kind of energy that you want for batters at this under-19 level. This time round, the captain decides I will field in the mid-wicket region to close off that gap, because she feels that very many runs have leaked via this mid-wicket region. And indeed, she places herself there and is able to stop what would potentially have been 2 runs. But Tommy Teresa and Ramatu Kamara, no. Up in the air. She hits it in the deep mid-wicket region, and the catch is not completed.
Yeah, that is, there was a simple hesitation, that last step there towards the catcher by the young lady down there at the deep mid wicket. Could have easily taken that, but that last hesitation as she runs towards that ball costed her for that opportunity to go down.
Soft hands there. I like this partnership between Tommy Teresa and Ramatu Kamara, playing with soft hands and taking that run.
Yes, now if you're standing at this, if you're moving at already 26 for 1, you don't have to be taking any risks at this moment, because you know anything, any collapse here means the game being snatched away. We saw in that Malawi game where they were 36 for 6, and then Angela Lumbe going on to snatch that game away. So I feel that the Sierra Leones wouldn't want to bring themselves in such a situations. So it's all about doing everything nice and easy. And that's a signal for the no ball there. Umpire Patrick Makumbi, a very seasoned umpire from Uganda, alongside Veronique Iriho from Rwanda. A very group experienced umpires who have come through to the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifiers down in Entebbe, the first capital, administrative capital of the Republic of Uganda.
Akele Amogou Balbine Doris completes her over, which is the 4th over. And Sierra Leone are 27 for the loss of just 1. Back into the bowling attack is Tekwe, Rema. I beg your pardon, Ate Chris, the captain of the side, starts that off with a dot ball, which continues to build their confidence that they should be able to defend their total.
That was a shot of length outside off stumper, struck hard, but I feel that they had to just sort of stop it. I think the Cameroonians are seeming to sort of give away the game. They're accepting. When you look at the positions that the Sierra Leones have put themselves in now, only needing 11 runs in 8.5 with the 9 wickets in hand.
Good length delivery, but Ramatu not being able to get her bat onto that delivery. And Atekris will gladly take that ball. Ramatu plays that one to the to the point region, allowing them to take a single.
Yeah, just we look at how Ate is the kind of lines he's pitching and the length short outside of stump, easy for the batter just to get back and get through that. That unfortunately got away simply because it got that last change in the bounce. But that brings the end of the over.
Closing off the 5th over, Sierra Leone 28 for the loss of 1. There'll be a change in the comms box as Mike Ondiko together with Ivan Sajabi take over.
Thank you, Naomi. It's been a very interesting run chase already. Welcome back, Ivan.
Thank you, Mike. Happy to be back in the comms. 28 for 1 after 5. Just 10 more runs for Sierra Leone to pick up victory. And somehow it might be game, set and match for Team Sierra Leone. They lost the first wicket in the first over. But these two batters in Ramatu Kamara and Teresa Tommy have tried to make sure that they build up a partnership and stabilize things, trying to make sure that they don't lose another wicket. But the bowler who got the first wicket for Cameroon returns back into the attack. I love the idea. The stumps were exposed and there was a direct chance of taking the run out. She takes a shy, but just misses it. But it's a positive for me, knowing that she didn't have to hand it to the wicketkeeper, but she could have taken a shy and pick up something. And there was back up looking at where the field at covers was standing.
You've said it well altogether, indeed, Ivan.
Closing in her bat. A full face of the bat could have exposed that gap between that fielder at point and one at covers, because there is no one sweeping the boundary at covers. By the time covers would have come in, maybe Sierra Leone could have picked up some 2 runs. But when you look at their batting card, Teresa Tomei, who is currently in with Ramatu, was the leading scorer. She scored 13 of 22. And now she knows. That's what I was talking about, Michael. There was that gap. This time around when she goes and drives it on the full, she manages to put it into the gap and she runs through for the single.
Yeah, most times the temptation for every batter is to try and hit the ball so hard. So the bottom hand that comes in, especially for the right-handers, will force the batter to close that bat and try to strangle that particular ball. And that's why the previous shot.
A bit full, and the indication from the umpire, it was dipping down. Just judged as a full toss and not dispatched away. That's a ball in the world of cricket that can see you being hit anyway on the park. So for Foku, she should be looking at making sure that she bowls it a bit flat. She bowls it into the surface and make sure that you extract something, get the bounce, and keep asking those questions to these Sierra Leonean batters.
Certainly, having got the first wicket, she's definitely looking at the point of trying to pick up a second wicket at least. And she's literally bowling towards that off-stump line, that nagging length, trying to ask the questions. And with cricket in its most foundational and fundamental way, as long as you are bowling to that line of uncertainty just outside of stump, you have a chance of picking up a wicket.
That booming drive missing, and I think she should have just made sure that she keeps the bat full and straight. But that marks the end of the over. 3 runs from the over, and after 6, 31 for 1 is the score for Sierra Leone. But Michael, looking forward, tomorrow action continues here at Entebbe Cricket Oval And in the morning, it will be Kenya taking on Sierra Leone, whereas in the afternoon, Mozambique will be taking on Cameroon. Kenya, Sierra Leone should be an exciting encounter. If Sierra Leone picks up victory here, it means they'll be having victory. Kenya's already won 2 out of their 2 games, but currently Malawi is on top, following 31 points they have added on the tally. But what are your comments on that upcoming game tomorrow between Sierra Leone? Should you expect something out of it?
It's a mouth-watering fixture indeed, because Sierra Leone, they seem to wear their hearts on their sleeves. They are really up and about. They are ready to go. However, Kenya hasn't been necessarily an easy opponent to play. And by easy opponent to play, I mean they seem to be leaps and bounds ahead of so far the opponents. And they will come in buoyed by their confidence of their previous win, and therefore it will be definitely a very good fixture, because right now as it stands, Sierra Leone is on the way to victory, and they will now look to get another victory back to back.
Fallen driven down the ground, chance for 2 runs. Yes, they get the 2 runs, and what that double means is that it reduces the deficit to just 5 runs for victory. And when you look at the table standings, as earlier on side, Malawi is on top of the table with 5 points. From 3 matches, they have won 2, but that no result gave them the extra point, whereas Kenya are 2 out of 2 on 4 points in second position. A win for Sierra Leone would mean that they would go up to the 3rd position, displacing Malawi. It also means that that clash between Malawi, I beg your pardon, that clash between, they will displace Mozambique, sorry, because Mozambique is 3rd with 1 point. It means that if Sierra Leone wins and go to the 3rd position, Mozambique and Cameroon will both be winless in this tournament. And tomorrow's game in the afternoon between Cameroon and Mozambique will be a bottom of table clash. Another interesting one on the cards coming up tomorrow.
That's interesting indeed. Earlier on, I was hearing other co-commentators talking about the Mozambique supporting someone. Clearly, they seem to have been rooting for Cameroon, because they've suddenly gone silent right there in their camp. And Sierra Leone is definitely just taking away the runs, finishing it off softly, risk-free cricket, just making sure they fulfill the job asked of them from their dugout, from their coaches and teammates, playing for their country and making everyone glad that they are here. But you do mention an interesting fixture again that will come up between Mozambique and Cameroon, Ivan. That will definitely imply that at the end of the day, it will at least be playing for the placement rather than so much getting to 2nd position.
And I think Cameroon has been a team that has been growing with the tournament. In their opening game against Kenya, they bowled 10 extras compared to the 4 that they have so far bowled in this game. It means the more they have played the tournament, the more they have improved in terms of bowling. So they should be the favorites going into that fixture. But as we come to the end of the 7th over, the scoreboard reads 35 for a loss of 1, with just a 3 needed for victory.
Kenya playing Sierra Leone, and we shall have Mozambique, who will be playing Cameroon. Those are the tomorrow's games we have for you.
Three more for victory as the captain, Ate Chris Kelly, returns with the ball. She's already given away 4 runs in the single over that she has bowled. But when you look at their bowling discipline, so far in this game, most of the runs have been coming from the blades of the Sierra Leone batters. It means that if they had gotten a little more runs on the board, maybe they should have had a chance of having a tool that they can bowl at. But also, in my thinking, when they got the toss in their hands, maybe they should have bowled first, because bowling first gives a chance to your bowlers to make sure that they bowl all the overs. Because in cricket, you have to improve a department at a time. If you're struggling with the bowling and the batting at the same time, you need to make sure that you work on that act. But those 2 runs will mean that it's game, set and match. And it is celebration there for Sierra Leone as they wrap up the victory. That is their dugout erupting into excitement after the 9 wickets victory against the Cameroonians. Disappointed and dejected are the Cameroonians as the Sierra Leoneans complete that victory.
That is the end of our game for today.
Still reminding you about tomorrow's fixtures. In the morning, it will be Kenya taking on Sierra Leone at 10 a.m. Then in the afternoon, Mozambique will take on Cameroon in the bottom of table clash. And those are the handshakes, bare handshakes, and the dances there from the Sierra Leoneans as they walk through for that handshake. First victory for them, already a positive for them to carry forward. They'll be wishing that they can carry on that momentum as they take on Kenya tomorrow in the morning. That's the moment. Disappointed Cameroon as they face another loss. Cameroon 3 games for them and 3 losses. Somehow their debut has not been a debut to forget. Off a rocky start, but that's the match summary. The match summary there right in your frame. A game where Cameroon won the toss and opted to bat first, but the decision quickly backfired as they lost the wicket in the first over. Nothing much to talk about their bowling, their batting lineup. Only the extras being 16 and being the leading run scorer, but you look at the bowling card for Team Sierra Leone. 1 wicket apiece for Susan Sese, Ramat Kamara, Isha Kariat Bangura, Kadiatu Sawane, and Teresa Tommy being the standout player and my player of match in this game if I was given select, because she's picked up 2 wickets and she came and held her bat, scoring 18 off 2 unbeaten. 16 for Ramat Kamara, just 1 wicket for Foku Sanga, Jane Fortunate as we come to the end of match day number 3. A whole long lineup of commentators, but my name is Evan Sipi and Sajabi. I've been here with Michael Grace Ndiko, Yasini Ngobi, and Naomi Kayondo will be coming to you shortly for the post-match presentation. Make sure you don't get off your screens. It's a wrap-up for today. We'll catch up tomorrow.
A good evening and welcome to the post-match presentation for game number 6, where Sierra Leone was playing against Cameroon this afternoon. Sierra Leone won the game by 9 wickets. Cameroon set 37 for the loss of 10, and Sierra Leone chased this down for the loss of 1 wicket. It has been an interesting game this afternoon, had a bit of a wet outfield, but the under-19 women were able to play and put up a good show here at the Lakeside Oval. I'd like to start my discussion with the captain of Cameroon, Chris Kelly. Please step forward. Hard luck, Chris, upon this loss, but what are the challenges that you found? What can you do better to try and ensure that you get a win in this tournament?
Well, my challenges are fielding, and batting. Like most of my fielding is not really that good, but that's what I have to work on so that our next matches will even be much better, because the fielding today was not really that good. So hope that our next matches will work more on the fielding. Then our batting was not really that bad, but we still need to ameliorate and work on our batting skills.
Okay. Captain says they need to improve their fielding. Hard luck and good luck in the next games.
Thank you.
Okay. A lot of fielding has to improve in their techniques, especially the catching and being able to score more runs, she says. Hard luck to them, and I am sure they will pick a win sometime in this tournament. I would like to speak to Captain Mariama. Please step forward. Congratulations upon the win. Very well done. Your first win out of 2 games. How do you feel, Captain?
I feel so good. I'm very excited because it has been a very rough day from our first loss to Malawi. But thank God today for this win. It has given us courage for our next game tomorrow.
Okay. What are the aspects that you did well in your game this afternoon that has helped you pick the win?
Well, according to my last interview, I said that we are going to work on our fielding, especially the extras, and we did very well. We work on that, and we are bowling according to the instruction of our coach. That is bowling straight to the stumps, and that is what we are doing.
Okay, very well done, and congratulations upon the win.
Thank you.
The player of the match award will be given out by Mr. Dennis Musali. Apologies, Madame Veronica Iriho, the umpire who has stood in the middle this afternoon. Veronica, please step forward. And special mentions go to Kadiatu, who picked 1 wicket for 9 runs. Special mention go to Ramatu Kamara, who also scored 16 runs, picked 1 wicket for 7, and took 2 catches. But the player of this match this afternoon is Teresa Tommy, who scored 18 runs, not out, picked 2 wickets for 17 runs. Teresa, please step forward and receive your player of the match award.
Well done.
Teresa, congratulations.
Thank you.
Upon the player of the match award. How do you feel?
Well, I feel so good because yesterday it was a mistake and today I feel better.
Okay. You feel better. I can see you're still panting, happy and excited about the player of the match. What went through your mind as you batted, anchoring your team to its first win in this tournament?
Well, I don't know what to say.
Okay, congratulations, Teresa, very well batted, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
With that award brings an end to the player of the post-match presentation for the game Sierra Leone versus Cameroon. Are we ready? Good evening and welcome to the post-match recap for match day number 3, where we unfortunately had a game washed out this morning. Malawi was meant to play Mozambique. There was a washout, but this afternoon, Mother Nature smiled on us and we were able to have a game played between Sierra Leone and Cameroon. The game that was won by Sierra Leone, player of the match ending up being Teresa Tommy. And the excitement is on here, but we will review what has happened today. I'm here myself, Naomi Kayondo, with Mike Ondiko and Yasin Gobi. All have been commentators this match day. I will start with Michael. What have been your general observations in match day number 3, especially with the game that has been played this afternoon?
Well, it has been an interesting day, a bit of several things because of the weather conditions. And however, it's good to see how the young women were able to bounce back in the conditions, in the circumstances. Of course, always a shortened game is never an easy game, 13 overs. And Cameroon seemingly had that plan indeed, as mentioned earlier on, to try and put up an imposing score and come back and defend it. It was never to be, but they really were playing according to a game plan. And Sierra Leone was able to stamp the authority onto the tournament by winning comprehensively by 9 with 9 wickets to spare. And to me, altogether, that is a very good statement for the women, the young women in the under-19, to say that they are here to try and grow their caliber and try and show themselves onto the international scene.
Okay, thank you, Michael. To you, Yasin, there was a washout in the morning, but Malawi already has 2 wins in the 2 games they played yesterday, and this particular one would have been their 3rd against Mozambique. What does this washout and the results mean for Malawi?
First of all, it creates a 50-50 situation for themselves. They would pray that possibly Kenya loses that morning game and give them that advantage. But secondly, also it is also maybe a bonus in disguise because they've managed to secure that vital point, taking them to 5 points. So that means it still leaves them in contention. That means that particular fixture against Kenya could be very, very important to them. So it will be a very, very mouth-watering fixture on that last match day.
Thank you. So it puts Malawi in contention with Kenya. Fortunately, they are taking the top 2 teams in this round-robin tournament. So Malawi looks like they are in a good position. Very well said, Yasin. Michael, my second question. There was a prediction by Yasin of about 45, 50 runs earlier for the afternoon game. And Cameroon ended at 38. But this has been chased down very fast. What do you make of the batting proceedings, especially the anchor role that Tommy Teresa has played in the second innings to get her team over the line?
Well, indeed, she did put up a very good show, and the kind of formidable out display that she had in itself speaks about the kind of player that she is. And at the same time, it shows how Sierra Leone is pacing themselves for this tournament, because now going into tomorrow's fixture means that they have an opportunity to try and build up on the momentum gained from the afternoon fixture and try to have that particular partnership repeating the good things and trying to pull off a first one against Kenya. Of course, remains to be seen, but that will be very good for the whole setup of Sierra Leone.
Okay, well said. This one is to you, Yasin. We have seen a couple of run-outs when Cameroon was batting, and when they came to ball, they were also caught guilty of delivering a few wide balls. What do you think is their major area for improvement, but also the impact of those shortcomings on their general game as a team?
Well, it's a very simple thing, a very basic thing. Every person, every child, as we get into learning cricket in academies, we are always told a very simple thing. If I may demonstrate as a right-hand batter, as you're batting, in case you hit that ball towards the cover region, you're meant to be running as you slide your bat facing where that ball is. If you look through the highlights, you'll see that a couple of the Cameroonian batters running and hitting and not facing exactly where the ball is. So that has costed them. However, I want to congratulate them today, this very day. They've managed to lose 3 wickets through runouts. But again, the positive is they lost them towards the end. So that tells you that there is a shift. But again, also, I will not call them benchmarks, but I mean setbacks. When you look at the interview at the captain's presser, the team manager, Brenda, put it clear that they are here to learn, they are here to get more experience. And I want to say, I think that is the best achievement they'll have for themselves. They've had a good, and today actually they had a good chance at this game if they had, if Tekwe had stuck in there and then took those 2 dropped, I think 3 chances dropped in the first 5 overs. They had a good chance, so they've had good lessons to moving forward.
Okay, well said. My last question to you, Michael, is about the captain's role at this level of under 19. How vital is the captain in terms of how she coordinates her troop, but also her basic understanding of the game of cricket?
Yes, a captain is a very important and crucial aspect of any team. And we can see that the different captains have been leading from the front, like the one of Kenya, Kajotsa. And then you also notice for Sri Leone, the captain was really pushing the troops to make sure that at each point they stayed within the focus, the whole team dynamics, the ability to remain positive. They were always cheering themselves up because they knew that there was another team supporting Cameroon, and that was the Mozambique outside. So the whole team gelling and the element of keeping the troops together, all is the responsibility of the captain. It boils down to the one word, leadership. And I know you've been a captain yourself before. You really appreciate that concept very well. And at this level, it is very key because they are all young women still growing. That's why it's called the under-19 women. And they need to have that mutual understanding and the whole chemistry of a team remaining together such that they can play together for longer. And that is really the hope and the expectation of cricket altogether. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. My last question to you, Yasin, is about that encouragement. We have seen the under-19 women, even for the earlier match days, constantly supporting each other, singing, chanting. How does that positively affect the game, but also even individual play?
I think don't talk only about these young girls, but even at the topmost level cricketer, one thing, or even the best coaches in the world, they'll tell these best players in the world is come and have fun. So if you're not having fun, then ideally you're not going to play the game of cricket, even at the top, at the best level. So that is simply explains what cricket is. It is very good. It's very encouraging, and I wish them to just continue that, and the sky won't even be the limit.
Well said. Indeed, cricket is fun. You need to play it in that fun space. Enjoy the game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but at the end of the day, you must have enjoyed. Bringing an end to our match day 3 recap, I would like to take us through our fixtures for tomorrow. Match day 4 in the morning, Thursday 12th match, Kenya will take on Sierra Leone. And in the afternoon, Mozambique will take on Cameroon here at the Lakeside Oval. That marks the end of match day 3 recap.
Thank you. Wow.